Welcome, to William Steele, True Crime and Steele Spotlight. This is William Steele with my co-host, Ignacio Esteban, retired ATF agent with fast breaking news. We're bringing you a fast clip to update you on something that's exploding in the news right now. A coup going down right now in Russia. Ignacio, you're well versed in all this. Fill our audience in.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It shows how unpopular the war in Ukraine is with the own Russian military and the elite forces they had, the mercenary forces, the Wagner forces, the head of security that was very close with Putin has had it with the war. He's had it with the casualties. He's had it with just not being properly funded, not having enough ammunition, not having enough firearms, having enough anything. And poor leadership from the top of the Kremlin has turned to the ultimate coup against Putin right now. So those images right now that are happening are shocking. And I wrote my book, Putin's Tyranny, The Battle for Ukraine, Freedom versus Tyranny. When I wrote the book, when they first invaded, this would be the end of Putin. This would be the biggest mistake in his. I mean, he could have been there for another 10 years, staying in his billion-dollar palace. Instead, Bill, now he realizes how close he is to being taken out and how severe of a bloodbath this is about to turn out in Russia. And this is the biggest thing that's going to change for the Ukrainian people, because now they're fighting from within. There's no way they're going to be doing much in Ukraine. So I think Ukraine, Zelensky, they're going to see the big difference here, and they're going to gain. They should be able to take most of their losses pretty quickly now with this problem now but watch what's going on with the Wagner forces. They've taken major cities, airports, and they're only about 400 miles from Moscow as we speak, maybe even closer. They could end up taking the Kremlin. Watch out for this, folks.
This is fast breaking news. Now, Wagner Group is basically, like you said, they're mercenary forces,
yes,
specifically loyal to Vladimir Putin. I recall last night before I went to sleep, this was just starting to unfold on all the news stations, and they have over 25,000 troops. The regular military in Russia is scared to death. They're a bunch of young guys who are not well trained and been lied to the whole time. They've been calling back their family members and saying they've been lied to about what they were going for a training mission. They were not going to be fighting a war. And they've been lied, and they're getting slaughtered.
They're getting slaughtered big time.
They're posting. Commanders are even posting the locations on social media, and the intelligence agencies are able to provide instantaneous targeting information to the Ukrainians, which has been taking out their generals and top leadership of Russia that has been inside Ukraine.
Unprecedented amount, unheard of for any battle to see this kind of top leadership be taken out like this. Unbelievable. It shows how unpopular the war is in Russia and how the Ukrainians are fighting for their freedom versus tyranny, the battle for Ukraine. I wrote about this, my book, a year ago when the invasion happened, more a year and a half ago, in February of last year when it happened. These were my predictions that Putin would not survive this kind of invasion. The people would not accept it. Because of information, he couldn't control the propaganda. Everybody has real information what's going on. Unlike in the old times with the Soviet Union, you can control and brainwash the masses. It doesn't happen anymore. And too many people have Russian family members all over the world, in Europe, in the United States, and the Ukrainians. They know what's going on here. This is Putin's ambition that's going to cost him everything.
He's old school KGB. He thinks the propaganda like the old school works. Like you said, they have everywhere telling them what's really going on.
Everybody has a smartphone. Everybody has access to information. It's not just one network. When it used to be just one channel, and you control the propaganda, that will work. But now everybody has information. They know what's going on in Ukraine. Fascinating what's happening. The head of Wagner, he had it with this. And for him to do something like that, after he was very close with Putin with the war, but he saw his guys were taking huge hits in Ukraine, huge amounts. They couldn't tolerate this. They were left, in his words, to die there. So they have no other choice but try to change it and get a regime change and put someone else in power. And he says the invasion was, in his words, false flags, lies, right? His ambition.
My concern, the concern of everybody should be, last week, I think it was, you and I spoke about this, and the country Belarus.
Yeah, Belarus.
He was moving tactical nukes into Belarus just last week. Does he still have access? Now, you wouldn't know this, obviously, but you were in federal law enforcement. He's got to have some kind of access to launch codes or the people around him. If they betray him, that's one thing, and take him under arrest or kill him, which, we don't encourage violence on this show, but something needs to change here.
That could happen because obviously I don't think any general would support nuclear attack on their own people, right? Because this right now has become a civil war, right? That's changing. I don't think it'll be a civil war. I think it's going to be the factions against Putin, and they've had it. This is the Russians having it against Putin already. This is within, and they support this. So are they going to support a nuclear attack in their own country? I don't think so.
Or nuclear attack, perhaps even on us, just to make a point. Because listen, you've been in federal law enforcement. You know things happen that never come out publicly, especially with intelligence agencies. I wouldn't doubt it if the CIA or other intelligence agencies had a hand in convincing Wagner, you'll get a free pass, but you got to go after this guy. Enough is enough. Maybe they even paid him off. They might have told all their commanders, we'll give you $5 million a piece. This has to end.
I bet, if nothing else, that they're getting good intelligence from us and helping with everything, right?
Absolutely. I guarantee we know his precise location, too.
We're helping him as much as we can through maybe a proxy war now, through the Ukrainians who may be providing. So it seems like there's a joint effort between the Ukrainians and Wagner forces to try to depose Putin. This is an unjust war. He's even said it. He's had it with this thing. So people can only take so much. When family members, you see them getting slaughtered, and it's all on Putin. Just keeps on pushing because he's so desperate to win, and it's not going to win. He's destroying his country.
Putin is beyond arrogant. He's old school KGB. I remember a case probably 10, 15 years ago where he blew up an entire apartment building. Everybody in the place virtually died. They know he did it. They know he was behind it. His people were behind it. He ordered it. He's had journalists murdered. He's had poisoned.
Dissidents. A lot of dissidents poisoned. Yeah.
What's that? Yep. He's had them poisoned.
Yeah. He doesn't care if you're against him, if it's his way or the highway. He's a dictator, right? He's just a pure dictator. You better do as I say, or the consequence. He's already making threats against this guy from Wagner Security that, he's a traitor. There'll be consequences for those who join it. He's already threatening he's going to kill the people. Now they have no choice. Now they have to fight to the end. Now they're all going to fight to the end, and this is highly trained forces. They're not going to turn over the weapons. Oh, he said turn over your weapons. No. And now he sees more people from the National Guard coming over to his side. More and more, because he's now holding control of the command center for the Ukrainian war and southern Russia there. He's got a control of it now. This is a big thing.
What's it look like on the ground in Ukraine now? Are the troops rolling back out? Has the fighting stopped?
What I'm reading and hearing is that they're going to be more aggressive with the countermeasures to try to take back a lot of the land that was taken from them.
Right, of course.
Good for them. They should. Hopefully, they can take everything back. It's their country, and then this becomes a Russian civil war, and then Putin is removed. And that's the best thing for our country and the best thing for Russians. And hopefully, and I wrote my book, hopefully Russia can get it right this time and get a real democracy. I'm hoping they can have a democracy.
This is William Steele, True Crime, bringing you breaking news. We're going to put out periodic updates on this, probably on a daily or maybe every 2-day basis, one way or the other. Ignacio and I, or however we do this, want to keep everybody apprised. We're getting our facts as they come in. Don't forget, Ignacio was plugged in. He was a federal agent for 27 years, was it?
Yeah, over 26 years.
So this man knows what he's talking about. He knows how things play out, how they work. Who knows? He might be things he's not allowed to talk about right now. But you know what? This is going down right now. A coup in Russia against Vladimir Putin by the Wagner Group. His former mercenaries have turned against him.
Yes.
And with that, we bring you breaking news from Steele Spotlight TV, William Steele True Crime. Please hit like and subscribe. Check out Ignacio's book that predicted this.
Yeah.
We're going to have a picture up on the screen. Hit like and subscribe.
Yeah, Putin's Tyranny and another one book, The Battle for Ukraine, Freedom versus Tyranny. I wrote these books after the war started in Ukraine and my predictions that are coming through tonight. So it's the end of Putin, it appears. We shall see.
More updates to come. A coup in Russia right now playing out. Thank you for joining us.